So England's struggling, but I think, people here are struggling. No doubt, but people will always struggle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I have a 1-year-old.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. With the recession and the high interest rates, it's fairly hard to raise a family.
Well, actually, I'm already retired and it's affecting me already. So, yeah.
Can buy a house. It's hard to find a cheaper apartment that's livable.
Yeah, rents are going up.
It's just you can't get away from it.
Is there a 2023 recession? I'm here at Walmart in Akron, Ohio to find out. Walmart is not struggling in the slightest. They crushed their last earnings, beating on earnings per share by 11.64% and revenue by 2.91% in April. The last recession was in 2008. That was 15 years ago. We are definitely due for another one soon. A 2023 recession could shatter all-time lows from the 2008 economic crisis. But the question is, should and do people care about this? I'm about to go find out. Let's go talk to the everyday person. Hey, what's up, man? My name's Mo. I'm from the Everything Money YouTube channel. We have a YouTube channel on finance, obviously on YouTube. You mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right, so the reason we're asking these questions is we're doing a video on the recession, the environment that's out there. Are you feeling inflation, recession?
Sure, yeah.
Explain to me a little bit.
I mean, you can feel it in everything from pay gap down to how much housing costs, down to how difficult it is to raise a kid versus how much it costs to feed your family.
Are you at all worried about the recessionary environment that we're in? Do you think we're in a recession? What do you think about that?
I really don't know, man. I haven't kept up with it lately. So you asking the wrong guy.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you go shopping, you feed your family and everything. Do you feel that costs are higher now than they were 6 to 12 months ago? Or have you not even noticed? Or am I making you notice?
You got to do what you got to do. Yeah, you're making me notice right now. You got to get what you got to get anyway.
So in today's environment, are you feeling that the cost of things is higher?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
When did you start to notice and feel it?
Well, it was during COVID, and now that we're post-COVID, I think things are starting to settle down. Inflation's reducing.
Yeah.
It's just going to take time,
Yeah.
and we're fortunate that we've got an income that we can, pretty much buy what we need.
Absolutely,
without
that's great.
excess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I think all in all, they're trying to help people.
So going into a store like Walmart these days, do you find that you're paying more than you were, call it 12 months ago?
That's across the board.
Across the board.
Yeah.
When you go in and shop these days, do you feel like you're paying more today than you were, call it a year ago?
Sure do. Yep,
So is it affecting you day to day?
it is.
Yeah. Now, I see you have almost a full cart of stuff, but this probably cost you a lot more than it did 12 months ago.
It did, yeah, for sure.
Do you feel the effects on you, your family, etc.?
Absolutely.
So what do you think about everything that's going on in the economy right now? Do you feel inflation?
Yeah.
In what way?
It's just can't buy a house. It's hard to find a cheaper apartment that's livable.
Yeah, rents are going up.
It's just you can't get away from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But any way that you turn, you just can't get away from it.
It's everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Do you pay attention to what's going on in the interest rates being hiked and inflation and all of that?
I pay attention. Yeah, I do. I know they're all going up.
Okay. Do you think that they should be starting to being cut?
Of course.
Do you pay any attention to the Federal Reserve hiking of interest rates?
Yeah, I do.
What do you think about the interest rate? Do you think they need to be cut at this point or keep hiking or what?
They either need to be cut or held at where it's at. I think honestly the value of the American dollar is way out of line from where it should be.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot less gold that we have actually, in the Treasury and in the Federal Reserve than money that's actually in production. But rather than doing something about it, we like to print more money and just hope that everything works out.
So you don't like Jerome Powell's printing machine?
No.
Do you pay attention to the interest rate environment versus inflation and what they're doing as far as raising interest rates, trying to combat inflation?
Yeah, how it's not working.
How it's not working. So you think they need to raise interest rates more?
No.
No. Leave it where it is or go lower?
Yeah, I think they need to get things, I think it's not so much the interest rate, it's spending.
So you have a problem with the government
Because
spending?
I'm in competition with the government, and they're outpacing me, and I can't keep up with them.
They say don't
Okay.
fight the Fed.
Yeah, that's it. So when they're spending the dollars, I can't compete with that kind of money.
Yeah. So what do you think the government needs to do or the Fed needs to do as far as taming inflation but not crashing the economy?
What I'd really like to see is the government start to cut programs that are wasteful spending and reallocate that money towards things that are going to help grow the economy. We have a tremendous amount of unfunded debt right now, as well as, we're trying to borrow more money to pay for things that we just thought about. I think it's reckless spending.
Do you think that they can control this by raising interest rates anymore? Do you think that's a good idea?
No, I think raising interest rates is a terrible idea. There's great historical context for the economy growing very quickly when interest rates came down. We saw that coming into the 1980s out of the late 70s when interest rates were incredibly high.
Are you worried about us going into any type of recession, whether it's stock market, housing, your retirement, anything like that?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I think right now the government's done what they've had to do, and now passing this debt ceiling, I think is going to be a big help. Maybe we just get back to being normal again.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Do you think that they should increase or stay the same or start cutting interest rates? Do you think that that'll have some type of effect?
If they can cut interest rates, that'll help people. But then that fine line between that and the recession. So.
Absolutely, that and inflation.
Yeah, I think they're accomplishing all this. We could be far worse than the other countries.
Right. They're almost between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah.
So are you or your children and their families, are they having to get second jobs or try to find ways to make extra income to get by, or how does that work?
Fortunately, I'm retired.
Okay, perfect.
And I've been did some sound investments, so I'm doing okay.
Great.
But I know the family's hurting.
Yeah. Are you concerned about retirement, anything like that, and how it's going to be into the next 10, 15 years?
Well, actually, I'm already retired, and it's affecting me already. So, yeah.
Do you have children or grandchildren?
I have great-grandchildren.
Great grandchildren.
I do.
That's awesome. How are their families getting by with everything?
They're struggling. Yeah.
Well, hopefully in the next couple of months they can get things more tamed and things will become cheaper for you in the store.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do, because it is. I mean, it's affecting everybody.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you. You want me to help you put this in your car? I see you have a baby chair in here. You're carrying the great grandkids around?
I do.
That's awesome.
My job all the time.
That's awesome. Take
Yeah.
care. Have a great day.
Okay,
Thank you. I see you bought some diapers and stuff, so I assume you have a child?
Yeah, I have a 1-year-old.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. With the recession and the high interest rates, it's fairly hard to raise a family. Yeah, I pay about $800 a month rent, and I'm raising a kid at the same time. And after I count into all the expenses of food, rent, utilities, clothing your kid, you really don't have much left to do anything besides that.
Right. So there you have it. Some people thought it was a problem. Some people didn't. Some people had no idea that it was going on. But is a recession a good thing or a bad thing? Recessions can be healthy, but is this one going to be healthy?
If I told you 2 years ago that interest rates were going to go from 0% to 5%, everybody would have been scared. It was the reason why the market was so high up. It was the reason why we weren't worried about recession. But now interest rates are through the roof. The economy has slowed, and recession fears and expectations have been circulating for the last year. Now, does that mean that there's going to be a recession? Well, we don't know. There's a lot of indications there are one, but remember, for our channel, we're not sitting here saying to you, you need to change the way in which you live because of recession. We do think the market has a lot more to fall before it bottoms, but we've been saying that even way before we even had recession fears. If the recession actually causes the market to finally fall and go to the bottom, fine. These things have to happen. There are cycles. And of course, the stock market will likely at the bottom start to turn before we see any relief on the economic front. The markets have rebounded this year, so why aren't we out of the clear yet?
While the Fed is responsible for a host of different functions, it has been making headlines for raising interest rates, which has grabbed the attention of the everyday person, which you saw in the interviews that we did. The Fed rate hikes were one of the ways to stop inflation. By raising rates, the goal is that people will borrow and spend less, pumping the brakes on demand for goods and services. If all goes according to plan, prices will go down. However, we aren't out of the clear just yet. Rarely do things go according to plan. The truth is, we have further to go down. Do you think that the Fed has been holding off a recession? Let us know in the comments below.
So this obviously begs the question, what does the bursting of this bubble look like? Whenever you hear about a bubble bursting, there's immediate fear. But remember, even if you're In your 20s, you've lived through bubbles bursting. You've experienced them, your family experienced them. Life goes on. A bubble burst, a recession happening, gets rid of all the junk out there. They weed out idiots. They weed out bad businesses. They weed out bad investment ideas. We need them to clear the space. We need recessions and we need bubbles bursting to get rid of as many of these shysters as possible. Look at 08 and 09. These are the things we need to happen. And guess what, guys? Some of the best businesses in history have started during recessions. Because when people lose their jobs, they sit there and say, what am I going to do? I have to start a business. Or they take a small side hustle and make it bigger. These are the things that happen. And we haven't had one in a long time. So for those of you who are sitting there saying recessions are bad, bubbles are bad, stock market crashes are bad, I disagree. I love them. It weeds out all the 18-year-old pimply neighbors who sit there and say, my cryptocurrency is the best thing ever. Bitcoin's a thing of the past. It's this new one, blah, 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 blah. That's not good for economies long term. Nobody wants to see their money go down. But if you look at history, it's temporary. You as an investor should be somebody who looks at this as an opportunity to do better with your money. Recessions are a way to do better with your money. Stock market crashes and bubbles bursting is a way to invest in better assets at better prices. You should embrace that. That's what I do. Please join me. It takes a little bit of time to get around that. But once you embrace that, your life will be a lot different. And guys, I laugh all the time when I see articles of how to recession-proof your portfolio. Or this is where you should be now. This play is over. Go into this one. I hate those articles. I hate it when CNBC says that. They're absolutely 100% incorrect. Getting in and out of investments is never going to do well for you. Your job, the way to life-proof your portfolio, is to sit there and find great companies at good prices. Understand what drives the long-term value of companies and buy companies when they're undervalued. But very easily, dollar cost average into low cost ETFs. If you just do that month in and month out, you take all the thinking out of it, and spoiler alert, you're gonna do way better than everyone else. Guys, it's been proven time and time again that when people get in and out of investments, they tend to trail the market because they get in at the wrong time, they get out at the wrong time. So even though the market does 9 or 10% a year, people tend to do 4 to 6% a year because they buy in at the wrong time and sell at the wrong time. Don't be that person. When the market goes down, when a recession hits, be ready to buy great companies at much cheaper prices. We see it all the time. Go find your favorite companies right now. And apart from Apple and Nvidia, they're all still much further down they were before. Be ready to do that because it'll probably get a lot better for you to buy great companies. And if you believe they're going to be around for a very, very long time, all you're getting is an opportunity to buy great companies at better prices. What could be better than that?
So if you like videos like this, where we help you prepare for the possible coming recession, and if you like me going out, coming to a store near you, drop a comment below where we should show up next. Smash the like button. Have a great day.